Hello everybody, myself is Avinash Garnale. As we have discussed in the last class about the slope deflection method, today let me derive the slope deflection equation. Okay. So, how exactly this slope deflection equation is derived and how it is used in analyzing the structures we will see today. Slope deflection equation. To derive the slope deflection equation, let me consider a beam of length AB. See here. So, what I will do, I will consider a beam AB of length L. This is a beam, let us say A and B. This beam is loaded with a general loading. Okay, I am not going to consider any specific loading like a point load, or it may be a UDL or UVL. As we are trying to derive a generalized equation, so let me consider a general loading case. Let us call it as W, and even you can see here I am not considering any specific type of the supports to make the equation as general one. Okay. So here, so whenever a beam which has a length L and let us say its EI value is constant, when this beam is subjected to, when a beam which is shown in the figure A is subjected to some kind of loading, it will undergo the deformations. Okay. So, deformations may be like, it may be a rotations at the end A and B, theta A and theta B, or it may be a translation displacement, like it may be a deflection at B or it may be a deflection at A. So, maybe chances are there to undergo the deformations and the rotations. So, let us consider all those possible deformations in the beam so that we can derive a general equations for the slope deflection. So, if you see this beam carefully, then because of the general loading system on the beam, the chances of undergoing the deformation is here. So, let us assume that this beam is undergoing the deformation. So, this dotted line shows the deformed shape of the beam AB. So, which represents a deflection of the, or this sinking of the support B. Let me call this as delta, and this beam has a rotation. Let me call this as the theta A. Similarly, if I say this beam is undergoing some rotation here, okay, so let me call this as the theta B. Maybe chances are there. Okay. So, what I am trying to do here is I am trying to consider all the possible displacement which may occur in a beam which is loaded. So, if you see this beam carefully, you can see there are many different types of possible displacement which may occur in a beam, which are finally leading to the development of the bending moment. Now, here I can see that this beam, it is developing the bending moment because of the many reasons. The first one is the loading condition. The loading condition may be anything, either it may be a point load or it may be a UDL or it may be a UVL, anything. So, because of that loading, some bending moments are developing in the member or in the beam AB. And also because of these rotations, that is theta A and theta B, the possibilities of developing the bending moment in the beams are there. Similarly, because of this translational displacement, because of this also there is a chances of developing the bending moment. So what I will do here is, instead of considering all these parameters into a single time, so let us consider them as a individual cases. See, now I will consider the beam AB as it is. Let us say this is beam AB, where I am worrying only about the external loading condition. So let us say this is external load W. Because of this external loading, there may be a development of bending moments at the end. Let us say this is MFAB and this as MFBA. And in the last class we have seen how to determine the fixed end moment, that is MFAB and MFBA for different types of loadings. We have the direct formulas to determine all these things. So let me call this as figure B. Okay. Now what I will do, I will worry only about the rotation at the A. See here, if I am considering only the rotation at A, then the rotation may be clockwise or anti-clockwise anyway. Let us say this is the rotation at A. This is theta A, B. The total length of the beam is L and its EI value is constant, right? So because of this rotation at end A, there will be a development of moment at A and at B. So let me call this as M dash AB and this as M dash BA. Now we know that because of a rotation at any end, the bending moment developed at that location, it is 4 EI by L, and here it is 2 EI by L. So these are the bending moment developed at the end A and B because of the rotation of end A. So let me call this as figure C, right? Now I will consider one more case, that is the rotation of the end B. So let us say this member is undergoing, this end is undergoing a rotation. So let me call this as theta B. This is AB. Because of this rotation, there will be again development of bending moment at ends. So let me call this as M double dash AB and this as M double dash BA. And we know that the bending moment due to the rotation at the same end is, it is 4 EI by L, and this end it is 2 EI by L, right? See, from the considered beam, what we have done, we have considered the three different cases, that is, one is only the external loading, the second one is the rotation at A, and the third one is rotation at B. Now we have to consider the translation displacement, that is sinking. So let me call this as figure D, right? And the last case, I will erase this. In the last case, I am going to consider the displacement of end B. Let us say the beam is undergoing a translation deformation by delta vertically downwards. So because of this, again there will be a development of moments at the end. Let me call them as m triple dash BA and m triple dash AB. So we know that it is minus 6 EI delta by L square, and this is also minus 6 EI delta by L square. So the final bending moment in any beam as per the slope deflection method is the summation of all these 4 individual cases. That is, if I want to determine the final end moment, that is, if I want to determine MAB, then I have to add all these 4 values at the AB or A point, that is MFAB, M dash AB, M double dash AB and M triple dash AB. So it is MFAB, that is fixed end moments at end A due to the external loadings, plus M dash AB. M dash AB, that is moment at end A due to the rotation at A, plus M double dash A, that is rotation at A due to the moment at A due to the rotation at B, plus M triple dash AB. Right. Now here one thing we have to observe. So how much should be the rotation at these locations? That is, as we are trying to determine the bending moment about A and B, so I have to consider the rotation values at A. That is, it will be 4 EI into theta A by L, and this is also 4 EI theta A, even though we are determining the bending moment at B point, but still we have to consider the rotation at A. Similarly, on this case, we are determining the bending moment due to the rotation at B. Even though we are determining the moment at A, we have to consider the rotation from the B. So this will be 2 EI into theta B, and this is also 2 EI into theta B by L. So in that case, our final equation for MAB will be, so MFAB will remains as it is, as it depends on the type of the loading. So M dash AB value will be 4 EI theta A by L, plus M double dash AB value will be 2 EI theta B by L, minus, because of this negative sign I will take it as minus, M triple dash AB will be minus 6 EI delta by L square. So here in this equation you can see that EI is constant, so I can take out the EI value, and here I can take the 2. So MAB is equals to, I will keep this term MFAB as it is, plus I will take 2 EI as common and also L. So if I take 2 EI by L as a common factor, so I will remain with 2 theta A plus here theta B minus 3 delta by L. So this is the standard generalized equation to determine the bending moment at A, that is MAB. So this generalized equation can be used to determine the bending moment, that is final bending moment of any beam at left. Similarly, we have to write one more equation on the right side, that is MBA. So here MBA is equals to, it is almost similar to the previous case, MFBA plus M dash BA plus M double dash BA plus M triple dash BA. So MFBA will remains constant, MFBA plus M dash BA is okay. So the MBA value we can derive it to the, so MFBA will remains as it is, MFBA plus, so 2 EI by L, sorry 2 EI theta A by L plus 4 EI theta B by L. So you can see that I can take 2 EI by L as the common. So I will remain with theta A plus 2 times of theta B minus 3 delta by L. So even you can rewrite this as MBA plus equals to MFBA plus 2 EI by L into 2 theta B plus theta A minus 3 delta by L. So this is the generalized equation of bending moment at end B, which we can use to derive the final end moment for any type of beam with any support condition and any type of loading. So based on these two equations, we can analyze any type of indeterminate structures. Okay.